I'm here to share with you some of my thoughts of one of my favorite lenses ever for portraits. This lens is one of those lenses that has a particular look that is extremely unique, and that lens is the Canon 45mm TSC, also known as a 45mm tilt shift lens. Now, if you've seen my Contax T2 review, you know that one of my favorite focal lengths is 40mm. I've always felt like the 40mm focal length is the perfect length for how I see the world. It is almost as wide as a 35mm, and it is still great for portraits like the 50. 40mm is literally the best of both worlds, and it also is why I navigated to the 45mm tilt shift lens by Canon. Now, this is the third or fourth time that I've personally owned this lens. I've used to own it way back in the day when I was shooting with the Canon 5D Mark I, or as I like to call it, the 5D Classic. When I switched to shooting Fujifilm, I sold it only to buy it again when I switched to Sony. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm having a really hard time letting this particular lens go. It is not a lens that you will shoot all the time, but sometimes when you need to see things differently, it is the perfect lens to put on your camera. In the past, I have owned the 45mm, the 24mm, and the 90mm tilt shift lens, and they are all amazing lenses to own. Okay, so I've rambled on and on about the types of lenses that I've owned, but I need to talk to you about what a tilt shift lens does. Well, it tilts and it shifts. It shifts, guys. Come on, it shifts. I know a lot of photographers that use this shift function when they're shooting architecture, and pretty much what that does is it shifts the focal plane to allow buildings to appear as if they are up and down and not leaning back, and that is what happens when you're shooting with a normal lens. I personally like to use the shifting function when I am photographing people, which I know a lot of people don't do, but I like it because it helps me straighten my horizon, because every photograph I take has a mean lean to it. And I think that's because I am left-footed but right-handed. Wow, the things that you never knew mattered until you got back home from a shoot and realized all of your photographs are leaning right and have to be corrected in post. It's extremely annoying, but it's a real problem for me. Wait, am I the only person that has this issue? If you do, then please let me know in the comment section below, and perhaps we can start some sort of support group or something for left-footed people and right-handed shooters. Now, the one way that a lot of photographers like to use this lens is actually for the tilt function. One of the many cool things that you can do with this lens is make everything look very small if you are above the subject matter in which you are photographing. So, if you ever wanted to play Godzilla, then this would be the perfect lens for you. Another really cool thing that you can do with this lens is that you can blur things out on the top or the bottom or the left or the right of your frame. Now, I remember doing this with my Canon 5D Classic, and it was a pain in the rear because I could not see what I was blurring out. But now with mirrorless cameras and their digital viewfinders and the focus peaking, it makes this lens extremely useful, and it makes focusing it a whole lot easier. I bet you're probably wondering how expensive this lens is. Well, today you can pick one of these up used from anywhere between $400 and $500. That's not bad, right? I mean, you'll probably spend $400 on a lens that will sit in your bag that you'll never use. So why not add a little spice in your life and put this tilt shift lens in your bag? So here's my next question. Do you want to see a few images that are tilted and shifted? Yeah, I know you do.